A very rich girl pretended to be poor to find true love. But you won't believe what her in-laws did to her and why they did, so that you will find out as we go deep into the story. Beauty made her choice. She would move into another city, pretending to be a poor girl. She shared her plans with the overall manager in her company the day before, and the manager understood her and also promised to handle the company very well until she returns. It is time to find the man that would love her and cherish her. She had told her manager that she would turn herself into a poor girl and move to another city. She would come back only when she found a man of her own, a husband and not a gold digger. Perfect plan, madam. Her manager had said. Beauty sat on a couch inside her multi-billion-naira sitting room. She swept her eyes around the place and tears filled her eyes. Out of what use was all that stuff? What exactly was the use of it? It would have been better if she didn't have any of those rich and her parents stayed with her. It was because of all those things that her parents died of poison. The outraisin said that it was food poison. And Beauty knew that whatever that happened to her parents was from her family, either from her paternal or maternal side. They were all the same. They were all parasites, looking for who to suck. Envious of her parents' wealth, her father placed them all on a monthly salary, but it was never enough for them. They wanted everything for themselves. After all, her father didn't have a male child. He should hand over his wealth to those with male children. It was considered that girl child was nothing. But Beauty's father saw Beauty as everything and was training Beauty in a way that she would manage his businesses and company very well. He used to take Beauty to some of his business trips, making sure that she started early as if he knew what would happen. One evening, Beauty overheard his parents arguing inside their sitting room. They had given her stern warning never to involve herself in their quarrel. So on this particular day, she hid at the back of the door to eavesdrop on them. Then she noticed that the problem was about adopting a male child. Her mother wanted her father to adopt a son, someone that would manage his wealth. But her father was proving strong-head, saying that he didn't need a son. He was okay with his daughter. Beauty was more than 1,000 son, he sighed. Beauty's mother knew why she was insisting. Many people were saying that she was the one holding her husband from getting a second wife. But she wasn't. Just that the man didn't want to invite problems into his home. The following day, Beauty's mother invited some of her husband's people and told them that she would love to adopt a son. The reason why she did that was what Beauty didn't know. How could she tell those that were happy that she didn't have a son that she wanted to adopt a son? They all rejoiced with her and persuaded her husband to allow the woman to adopt a son. Finally, Beauty's father agreed. But they were still on the journey of the adoption when two of them died on the same day from food poisoning. It still surprised Beauty how they died of food poison because her mother was the one that cooked the food they ate that night. After their burial, Beauty's uncle and aunts came with the belief that a girl wasn't allowed to inherit her father's properties. They wanted to strip everything off Beauty, but Beauty didn't give them the chance. She was no longer a child, and she had attended a good school as well. She met her father's lawyer, and the young man told Beauty that none of her uncles had rights over her father's properties, that her father had willed everything to her, and it was in her place to give whoever she wanted to give to, out of her own benevolence. She gave them something out of what her parents left for her, but it was not enough for them. They wanted more. They wanted it all. So they have diverse other means of duping her. They sent different men towards her, men that were so interested in her wealth. It was after the last one called Mike confessed to her that he was sent by her uncles that Beauty decided that she wouldn't involve herself in any relationship again. But till when? How would she know the genuine one? The one that wasn't sent by her uncles? She wasn't going to remain single forever, and she wasn't going to marry her wealth. She needs a man, a husband. Not just a man, but a good man. Someone that loves her beyond her wealth. Right now, she was on the journey to find true love. Beauty woke up the next day in a public yard known as Face Me. I face you. Everyone was in a haste. The building had almost 30 rooms, each room containing more than one person. Some were occupied by men and their families. Children were like battalions in the compound. All the women in that compound didn't know anything about family planning. They were those God was talking to when he said, "Go into the world and multiply." And so they came into the world and carried God's orders. To make matters worse, everyone in the compound shared one bathroom and one toilet. At tea times, what you see in the toilet would push whatever that was coming back inside. So every morning they all came out with their bucket of water and stood in a line point one after the other. They would be going inside. A lot of fights do take place every morning. Those that would be fighting for their turn. In a way, Beauty loved it. It was another side of life altogether. She never knew that a place like that existed in this world. All her life, she had lived all her life in luxury, where housekeepers were always ready to carry her orders. The fight, the love, the quarrel and malice that I mean, she loved everything. She loved the part where they all came out every night under the moonlight to share food and stories. She loved the fact that they were poor and contented, unlike her uncles. Beauty wore her clothes, put on her cream, and together she and her roommate walked to their place of work. They were both working as a salesgirl inside the head bridge Onitsha. This was the market where they sold different drugs. As they were going, Beauty told her roommate about a man who was asking her to be his girlfriend. "What did you tell the man?" Her friend questioned. "I didn't tell him anything. I only told him that I will think about it." Beauty replied, "Beauty, what exactly are you thinking about? Don't you know that all the girls in this market wants him?" "Peace. I am not all the girls. I am Beauty and I know what I want. Forget about it. You are Beauty and you know what you want. What do you want that is bigger than having that wealthy guy as your boyfriend? He has so many cars. Peace, are you really being serious now? Like you want me to be happy because Richard is asking me to be his girlfriend. Am I going to eat cars? At least you will drive them if you don't eat them." Again, yes, you should be happy. Do you know who Richard is? He is very rich. He is very, very rich. Peace, you will never cease to amuse me. I should be happy, right? Yes, you need a man to take you out of that slum that we call the house. Or do you like that place? Peace said, fixing her gaze at him. Peace. Goodbye. Go to your shop. We will talk about it while going home, Beauty said and clapped Peace on the shoulder. Inside the shop, Beauty sat at the corner thinking about what Peace had said. For over 1 month that she came to the market, she had not seen Richard like most of the guys in the market. He behaved like an educated person. He was so matured as well. The only thing Beauty wanted was a man that would love her genuinely. It didn't matter if the man was rich or poor. Richard had been trailing after her like flies trailing after excrement. After so many thoughts that afternoon, she decided to give Richard a chance. If everything went well, she would reveal herself to him after spending 2 months with him. That night after eating dinner, Beauty told Peace that she had accepted Richard's proposal. Peace was so happy for her friend. It was a genuine happiness. But after a while, Peace's face turned pale. "What's it?" Beauty questioned. "Very soon now you will get married to Richard, and only me will be left in this smelling yard," Peace said with a contoured face which made Beauty laugh. "Don't worry, I won't leave you. I will tell Richard to also marry you," Beauty said and ran inside, while her roommate chased after her. They both fell into their mattress laughing uncomfortably. Peace told Beauty that she was mad for saying what she said earlier. 2 months later, that Beauty agreed to be Richard's girlfriend. Richard proposed to her in a way that she didn't expect. It was a glamorous proposal. Beauty was happy that she had finally found what she was looking for. She sent a message to her general manager, and the woman was happy for her. The only woman who had been like a mother to her. And seeing that Beauty was about to get married to a genuine man made her happier. Beauty, I love you, and I can't wait to marry you, Richard said to Beauty as they both sat in a restaurant. I love you also, Richard, Beauty replied. I want you to do something for me, Richard said, and Beauty lowered her glass of wine on the drink. Tell me what's it? Richard hesitated and began to talk. He told Beauty that his family didn't want him to get married to Beauty, that they had arranged other girls for him. But he didn't love any of those girls. Richard told Beauty that she was the only woman he wanted to spend his life with. It was then that he told Beauty that the business he was running was actually his father's business, more like a family business. After listening, Beauty then asked him what exactly he wanted her to do for him. I want you to come and live in my house. What? Are you okay? Beauty screamed. My love, calm down, let me explain. Richard begged. I am not calming down. You have only proposed to me, and I know that I have only proposed to you. And I'm going to marry you. I love you, and I can give my life for you. Just this request, Richard said calmly. Live with you is what? Beauty questioned. I want my parents to see that you are different. The truth is that I don't want them to find out about the place you are staying. Are you ashamed? Beauty questioned curiously. No, I am not. But I want them to respect my wife. I don't want anyone to look down on you. All right, I will think over it. Beauty said at home. Beauty shared what happened with Peace, and Peace advised her to go. Whatever that will make you escape this hardship, do it. Do it, my friend. This county is harder than a rock. Peace advised. Is that all you have to say? Beauty questioned. What else do you want me to say? Richard loves you, and that's all that matters. What of his family? Beauty asked. They will love you. Who wouldn't love a sweet soul like you? Me, a sweet soul. Beauty questioned and chuckled. No, me. Peace replied, and they both laughed. Peace, who didn't know who Beauty was exactly, also told Beauty to be happy because Richard was all over her. It wasn't easy for rich men in Nigeria to marry a commoner. It only happens in Nollywood movies. That was the only place you would see a prince married to a maid, but in reality, it was different. They would always marry someone in their class, someone in their circle. Peace also made emphasis on how Beauty should behave when she got to the place. To do whatever that would make the family love her. Because of Peace, Beauty no longer disturbs the general manager in her company. Although she might not agree with all the advice Peace gave her. But one thing she wouldn't deny was the fact that Peace was wise and smart, and all her advice was based on who she thought that Beauty was. A poor, wretched girl. The day Beauty moved in with Richard, Richard's parents were inside the sitting room chatting. Beauty wasn't oblivious of the fact that his mother's face looked pale the moment she saw her. His father welcomed her. What is your name? Richard's mother asked. Beauty. What do you mean by Beauty? I said, what is your name? The woman repeated angrily. My name is Beauty, Ma. You mean just Beauty? The woman asked, and Beauty nodded her head. Is that the name that your parents gave you, or? She asked. Beauty was about to talk when Richard cut in. Mom, that's her name, Richard said. The woman swallowed hard and rolled her eyes. Okay, Beauty, or whatever you said your name is, go inside, freshen up, and come and do something for me. The woman said. Beauty was dumbfounded. Like the woman didn't even give her time to rest at all. And what could it be that she wanted her to do? Inside the room, Beauty was about to open up to complain when Richard spoke. Thank God. Thank God my mom loves you, Richard said with great enthusiasm, and Beauty widened her eyes. His mom loves her. How? What exactly was love in all these? Was that his definition of love? A cold welcome? After scanning Richard for some minutes, she nodded her head. Richard moved closer to her and placed his hands on her shoulder. My love, please do whatever she asks you to do. My mom doesn't have a problem at all, but she is cunning. Don't give her any room to complain. I am happy that she loves you. You will soon find out that she doesn't have a problem. Richard said calmly to Beauty. Beauty nodded her head and left. When she entered the sitting room, Richard's mother and two of her daughters were there. Her husband had left. The two girls didn't act as if they saw Beauty. Their eyes were fixed on the television that Richard's mother gave Beauty a small comb and asked her to lose her braids. Beauty stood still. Was that part of her cunning character? What exactly was that? If she says no now, they would say that she didn't have respect. But how could someone be that heartless? She took the comb and began to work. As she loses the braid, the woman continues to direct her. Stop dragging the hair. Stop pulling it. Are you all right? This is my hair that you are dragging. Haven't you lose your mother's hair before? Mummy, I am doing it slowly. Beauty said, just take it easy. Don't drag it. Again. The woman said with a soft voice. All right, Ma. Beauty replied. After a few minutes, the woman coughed. Beauty, where did you meet my son? The woman asked. I met him inside the market, Ma. Beauty replied. Oh, you are working as a sales girl inside the market? The woman asked. Yes, Ma. I hope Richard told you that you aren't going to work there again. You will soon become my daughter-in-law. You don't need to work. Your husband will provide everything for you. Richard didn't tell me about it, Ma. Beauty replied. I am telling you now, you aren't going to work there again. The woman said. They didn't ask her what she wanted. They had decided for her. She gulped down her spit and continued her work without saying anything else. Last Beauty finished losing the braid and left for the room. She was so exhausted when she entered the room. The only thing Richard told her was that she had passed her mother's first exam. And Beauty wondered what the next exam would be, and also if she would pass that one also. She wanted to ask Richard if that was the best way his family would welcome the woman he wanted to marry, but then she closed her mouth. She wasn't a talking type. Your mom said something about my work. Beauty said calmly. I was waiting for you to come in so that I will tell you, Richard said defensively. Why didn't you tell me before? You know that I love my job. How much are they paying you? I will pay you double. You think everything is about money, right? Beauty replied. What else could matter to you more than money? Richard asked and fell into the bed. Beauty stared at him for some time before entering the bathroom. She wasn't going to judge him yet. The next exam was what Beauty never dreamed of. She was still on the bed when Richard's mother came into the room. You aren't here to sleep all day. You are supposed to be awake before every other person. The one said, Good morning, Ma. Beauty said with a tired voice, If you really want to marry my son, then you need to buckle up. Follow me. The woman said. With sleepy, tired eyes, Beauty follows her to the backyard. There, the woman showed Beauty some dirty clothes to wash and then left. When she left, Beauty stared at the clothes. All these because she wanted to marry. She had reduced herself to nothing, all thanks to her greedy uncles. She swallowed her pride and began to wash the clothes. That same night, Beauty went to Richard to complain, but before she did, his mother had already told him everything. After Beauty finished explaining everything, Richard calmed her down and consoled her that he pleaded with her to be more patient and also reminded her that his mother was just looking for a way to tag her bad name. He begged Beauty to bear everything for their love. We will be getting married soon. I will find a way for us to leave this place after our marriage, Richard said with assurance, and Beauty nodded. Her happiness was that she had seen a man that loves her beyond her wealth, and she was ready to do anything to keep him. She wasn't going to allow her greedy uncles to lurk behind another man to take over her wealth. Staying at home wasn't easy for Beauty because Richard's family turned her into a maid. Beauty was always at home. If she wasn't cooking, she would be washing clothes. If she was not washing clothes, then she would scrub the floor. Like most of the work in the house was left for her, Richard's two siblings were always going out. Beauty tried to engage them in a discussion, but they never treated her fairly. They always looked down on her. So she stopped trying because she knew why they were like that. For them, Beauty was a nobody. An ordinary sales girl in the market. One afternoon during the time Beauty came to the house newly, the cook, a man in his mid-30s, asked Beauty if she was a new maid. the man was surprised when Beauty told him that she was Richard's fiancée. The next question the man asked Beauty was, "Who is your father?" Beauty didn't know what brought the question. She didn't answer it because Richard's mother entered the kitchen and sent her to an errand. Beauty was inside the room one Sunday evening with Richard when Richard's young sister came to the room with a pile of clothes. "Beauty, wash my clothes. I will travel back to school tomorrow with them," the girl said with a harsh tone. Beauty stared at her. She rolled her eyes from the girl to Richard, waiting for Richard to react, waiting for him to act like a man, to say something. But he didn't. "Angel, you can go now. She will wash it later," Richard said. "Please iron it before bringing them to my room," the girl said and slammed the door. The moment the girl left, Beauty sprang up from the bed. "What was the meaning of what you just did?" she barked. "Why are you screaming now?" Richard yelled. "Are you seriously asking me that?" Beauty asked angrily. "You really have to calm down. I have told you that you have anger issues. If you want this marriage like I do, then you have to do some sacrifices, and this is one of them. These people are just looking for what to say, and please don't give them the room. I love you. Help me in this fight." "Which fight?" Beauty questioned. "Fight for our love. I know the girl they all want me to marry. They want more connections. But I want love. I love you. Just wash the clothes because of me." With this, Beauty didn't know what to say again. She stood there for a while and left to wash the clothes. The only thing she wanted was a man that would love her, and Richard seemed to be the only one. He had always been there for her, although he couldn't protect her from his family. But she knew that all those things would stop after their marriage. The following day, Beauty was passing along the corridor when she heard some voices coming out from Richard's mother's room. It wasn't as if she wanted to eavesdrop on them, but truly she wanted to know what they were talking about. Then she heard it. "I have told you that I don't like that girl." Beauty heard, and she knew the voice. It was Richard's mother. "What exactly didn't you like about her?" "Mom, I love her, and I am going to marry her." Richard's voice came out clearly. "You aren't getting it, Richard. Beauty, or whatever you call her, is a nobody. I don't want her in my home. But I want her. I love her, Mom. I know that you love her, but love is not enough. We need someone from a prominent family. We need someone we can run to in case of necessity. I want Mandy. Mandy is a good girl from a good home. Mom, I have told you how much I love this girl. Can't you see how good she is? She is the best. She is a good girl, yes, but I don't want her in my home. Mandy is also a good girl. Mom, how many times will I tell you that I don't love that girl Mandy? She is so arrogant. I don't like that girl at all. You will love her when you get married to her. Can't you see the way that girl loves you, as if you are the only man on earth? But I don't want her, Mom. I love Beauty. You have to love her. You must love her. Then I will pack out from this house, Mom. I will leave everything for you. You see all these wealth. I will leave them for you, Has. It gotten to this extent. To the extent of you talking back at me like this because of a girl. A wretched girl for that matter. Mom, I just want you to understand how much I love her. Okay, no problem. If she is the woman you want to marry, I am fine with it. Richard's mother said finally, and Richard embraced her tightly. Beauty was inside the room when Richard came in dancing around the room. No need asking him what the joy was all about because she heard everything. Richard moved closer and pulled her out of the bed, grinning. Have you won a lottery? Beauty asked and chuckled. I have won something more than a lottery. Today is the happiest day of my life. Richard answered with so much joy. Ready to share with me? Richard drew Beauty closer and whispered it into her ear. My mom has accepted you to be my wife. All thanks to you, my love. Beauty smiled and hugged him tight, but the hug wasn't because his mother had accepted her. The hug was because of the way he stood on his ground inside the room, the way he fought for her in her absence. He was the kind of man she wanted. What Beauty and Richard didn't know was the reason behind Richard's mother's agreement. They didn't know that her agreement wasn't from a good place. She had agreed to do more harm, which Richard wouldn't notice. Whenever Richard was around, his mother would pretend to be good towards Beauty, but once he was out, She would begin to treat Beauty like trash. And when Beauty complained, Richard wouldn't believe her because for him, his mother loved Beauty. That it continued to the extent that Beauty's constant complaints made Richard angry. Like he started to develop hatred towards her. Beauty wanted to leave the relationship, but then she noticed that she had fallen deeply in love with Richard. One faithful evening, Beauty was inside the kitchen making food when Richard's mother came in and yelled at her. "This lazy fool, so you are still here. I know that your plan is to separate me and my son, but it won't happen. I will show you that I carried Richard 9 good months inside my stomach." Beauty didn't say anything. She kept her cool. Their wedding was fast approaching, and Richard had promised that they would be moving out of the house immediately after the wedding. "Come and serve my quest," the woman said and left. Beauty took the plate of food to the dining table. Richard's mother and one beautiful girl was there chatting. They didn't act as if someone entered the sitting room, but when Beauty was about to leave, the beautiful girl called to her, "Hey, go and get me another glass of water, cold one." The girl said. Beauty went inside the kitchen. She filled up the glass with water, but the moment she turned, she saw the girl standing in her front. "Are you not ashamed of being a maid, all in the name of wanting a man to marry you? Richard will never marry you because he is mine and will always remain mine." Beauty didn't utter a word about what the girl said. "Take the water," Beauty said, trying to hand over the glass of water to girl. But the girl pushed the glass and it slipped off Beauty's hands and shattered on the floor. Instantly, Richard's mother ran into the kitchen. "What happened? Who did this?" Richard's mother asked, holding the beautiful girl. "Mom, I don't know why she did this. I think she intentionally did this," the girl said. The woman didn't even allow Beauty to talk before giving her a good slap. "Do you know who she is? Do you think if they sell the whole of your family that you would be able to buy the clothes on her body?" "But I didn't do anything to her," Beauty replied. "I am talking and you are talking," the woman said and stretched her hands to give Beauty another slap, but Beauty held her hand. "Don't dare slap me again. I will leave your son if that is what you want me to do, but don't dare slap me again as if I am a child." Beauty barked. "Yes, leave my son. He is married. He will marry Amanda. Leave him," the woman said. That night, Richard's father called Beauty into the sitting room. Richard was there as well. They told her about things that weren't allowed in their home, most especially talking back to your elders. The man reprimanded her for what she did earlier and asked her to tell Richard's mother sorry. And without hesitation, Beauty knelt on the floor and said sorry. The woman nodded in agreement, but Beauty knew that it wasn't from her heart. The game wasn't over yet. Inside the room, Beauty narrated the way everything had happened to Richard. The way the girl had intentionally let the glass fall and then turned around to blame her. Richard believed her. It was then that he told Beauty about Amanda. That what he didn't know was that Beauty knew everything already. Richard promised to do something about it, but he never did. He watched as his mother and siblings continued to treat Beauty like nobody. Yet Beauty still believed in him. She believed that they could work things together. One day, Beauty was on the bed pressing the phone when Richard's mother entered. "I told you that I will be having guests, and here you are pressing phone." "Mom, I just finished scrubbing the floor. I only wanted to rest a little." Beauty said. "Rest a little, you said? Rest from going to the farm, or what?" The woman was yelling when Richard entered the room. Beauty breathed out with the hope that Richard was going to support her. Richard went to the bed and dragged Beauty up. "My mom is talking to you, and you are still on the bed." Richard barked as if he had been holding grudges against Beauty. "Go and do what she said that you should do." Beauty's eyes widened. Had they given him something to eat? What was the meaning of that? It wasn't ordinary, she reasoned. Beauty quietly moved out of the room and went to the kitchen. The pile of dishes stood on the table. That was what they had been doing. Beauty was about to wash them when someone's voice stopped her. "Ma, I told you to go and rest. I can handle everything." The cook said, "My brother, these people don't want me to rest. Mom said that I should come out." Beauty replied. The man told Beauty to sit by the side and allow him to wash the dishes. They had already finished cooking different delicacies for the quest, and soon they would start coming in. The man told Beauty that Richard might introduce her to some of the guests. Beauty didn't say anything, but that was exactly what she thought. Although she was still surprised with the way Richard reacted inside the room, his outburst shocked her. Finally, the guest came and left, and nothing happened. Beauty was surprised that Richard didn't ask her to prepare for the gathering. She tried to ask him why, but Richard brushed her off. The only reason why Beauty entered into the sitting room was to serve the guest with the cook. After that, she came out and sat inside the kitchen with the cook. Her heart was boiling like hot water. Was that the kind of love she was looking for? Where was the love that Richard promised her? Even the cook was surprised that she didn't join the family, but she had seen that silly girl sitting closer to Richard. She had seen the way they were laughing. But everything will end tonight. It was either he chose Amanda or she didn't know. She wasn't going to allow them to play her like a football. Inside the room, Beauty sat at the edge of the bed, fidgeting her legs. "Why am I here, Richard?" Beauty questioned. "What sort of question is that?" Richard retorted. "Who exactly am I to you? I saw the way you were laughing with Amanda, the same girl you claimed that you have nothing to do with." Beauty replied. "Beauty, you are insane. How many things do I have to tell you that I don't love Amanda? I am only doing this because my parents asked me to do it. We want to get some connections from her father, and that's all." "You want to get some connections from her father, and that's all. And that's why you are playing with my feelings like a football. Will you give me the connection? Aren't you happy that I chose a girl like her over her? Over such a beautiful girl from a rich home. Riches made by fraud. Isn't that what you all do to become rich?" Beauty yelled. "What?" Richard asked. "You heard me right. When are you people going to stop all these fake drugs that you are selling in the market? They want you to marry Amanda because her father is into government. Someone who will fight for you people the day your cups will be filled." Richard sprang up and gave Beauty 2 thunderous slaps. "I love you, but I won't watch you talk about my family in that manner." "Richard, what did you just do?" Beauty asked. "I will slap you again and again if you do not shut that your mouth. Look at this ingrate. I am here trying to give you a life, and you are talking about fake drugs. What exactly do you know about fake drugs? And you slapped me, Richard." Beauty said calmly. "Beauty, you pushed me. I told you that everything is business. Once we get the contact we want from her father, I will get married to you. Richard, you will regret this. You will regret lifting a finger on me." Beauty muttered. "Get out of here. I will regret what? Lifting a finger on who? You? Get out of my room now. I have been trying to be a good man, but you want to bring out the demon in me. Leave my room." He screamed and pushed Beauty out of the room. Beauty slept in the corridor that night. She cried her eyes out. What had she gotten herself into? If not because of her greedy uncles, who was Richard to lay a finger on her? Death. Death, why did you punish her so much? She sent a text message to Peace explaining everything that happened. She was surprised that Peace asked her to leave the house at once. Peace explained the dangers of being with a man like Richard, a man that danced according to what his family wanted. A man who didn't have a say in his own home. Such men were nothing but vegetables, and they were also dangerous to women. The general manager in her company was so pissed off when she told her that Richard slapped her. The woman wanted to go and arrest Richard, but Beauty told her to calm down. She will handle it. She will leave the house, but she will make them pay dearly for all the pain they caused her, for all the work she did in that house without thank you. Richard will marry Amanda, but that would be after he came out of the prison. The next morning, Richard was still on the bed when Beauty entered inside the room. The moment he saw Beauty, he smiled and said, "I hope you have gotten your senses back." Beauty chuckled and replied, "Yes, I have gotten it back, and now I know that we are not compatible." "Meaning?" Richard questioned. "Meaning that I am done with all these. I am no longer interested in this so-called relationship." Richard burst out into a thunderous laughter. He laughed and laughed and laughed until the laughter wanted to choke him. You think I will beg you? You must be stupid. Simply because I slapped you. See, I am only trying to help you, to bring you out of your poverty. But if you are not ready to make some sacrifices, then pack your things and leave. Fool, you call slap simple? Beauty replied, yes. Do you know how many times that my dad had beaten my mom? Did my mom leave her marriage? No. But just because I slapped you yesterday to correct you, you are here telling me that you are done. Richard, you didn't just slap me. You pushed me out of your room. I slept in the corridor. All those things were to teach you manners. You don't know how to talk. Why did you talk about fake drugs yesterday? Because it is bad. You people are killing a lot of people if you don't know. How can you be producing something like that? I am only explaining this to you because you are nothing. The moment he said this, Beauty excused herself and entered into the bathroom. A few minutes later she came out. What exactly do? You want to explain? That the drugs didn't kill, or what? Yes, it doesn't kill. The only issues there is that it wouldn't cure the person who is taking it, but it doesn't kill. Beauty laughed. What's the difference? It doesn't kill, but it won't cure the person who is taking it, which means that the person will surely die. You and your family are murderers. Richard went to her with speed and gave her another beating of her life. The noise inside the room attracted his parents, and they all ran to the room. Beauty was on the floor when they got there. She wasn't crying. She was only covering her face with her palms. Do you want to kill someone? Richard. Richard's father barked, holding Richard on his wrist. Dad, allow me to deal with this girl. Richard replied, his heart pounding. What has she done this morning? Richard's mother asked. Mom, you won't believe that this stupid girl from the gutter called us murderers. What? Richard's mother screamed. Yes, this pig said that we are killing people with our fake drugs. See someone I wanted to help. Just look at. Have you seen why I told you to marry Amanda? Marry someone that understands what making money is all about, not someone who didn't know anything. Richard's father was silent all along. He wasn't a man of many words. But when he turned to Beauty, he said to her, I don't want to see you again in my house. Go back to the slum where you came from. When they left, Beauty sat down on the floor, tears streaming down her cheeks. She wasn't crying because of what Richard did to her. She was crying because of the time she wasted. Because if the free labor she did for the family, for trusting Richard, believing that he would change. But now it was clear to her that a mummy's boy will always be a mummy's boy. Dealing with a man who didn't have his own say was a dangerous gamble. Yes, she knew that Richard loves her and had fought for her, but that didn't take away that Richard would always do things to make his family happy. And she wasn't ready to fight for such. All she wanted was genuine love. She sprang U-Pan packed all her belongings. When she get to the sitting room, she saw Richard and Amanda cuddling each other. Richard's mother sat by the side. The moment Amanda saw her, she chuckled. Our maid is leaving, Amanda said, and they all chuckled. Beauty stared at them for a few seconds and said, You will pay for this, Richard. Richard waved his hands and spoke. Get out before I make you pay for all the good food you ate in my house. The moment Beauty left the gate, she gave Peace a call. Peace was at her place of work, but she took excuse to go and see her friend. They both met at a restaurant. Peace consoled her and told her that everything would be fine, that her man would soon locate her. Beauty nodded throughout their conversation. I want to visit my aunt in Lagos. I will call you when I get there, Beauty said. Ah, you get someone in Lagos, and you are here in Onitsha doing what? If I have any relatives in Lagos, I won't be here. Peace said. I thought your brother is in Lagos, Beauty asked. Yes, but he doesn't even have his own house, let alone housing someone else. I was planning to join him when his friend stole his money and ran away. His friend, Beauty, asked. Yes, someone from our village that he allowed to stay in his house. The guy pushes my brother to level 1, and since then my brother hadn't gotten himself back. He is looking for a wife. But who is going to marry a guy who is not rich? Sometimes my brother's condition makes me cry. Give me his number. I will. See him when I get to Lagos. I hope he is not like you. He is a good man, right? Beauty chuckled. You are mad. Peace said and clapped Beauty on her shoulder. But the truth is that any woman that marries my brother have a good thing. His only problem is that he doesn't have money now. All right, I will marry him, Beauty said. Peace laughed. Is this heartbreak talking? Fine girl like you? My brother is not for your type, Jor. Okay, give me his number. If I don't marry him, I will find a wife for him. Few hours later, Beauty had reached Lagos. She took flight from Asaba to Lagos. Her general manager was so happy when she saw her. They all embraced each other like mother and child. Beauty calmly narrated everything that happened in Richard's family, including the time his mother slapped her and the way they believed that she was from the slum. After her narration, she brought out her small phone and put on the voice note. There, Richard was admitting the fact that he produced fake drugs, but it didn't kill, just that it wasn't possible to cure any sickness. Leave everything for me. I will handle it from here, the general manager said. What? Beauty questioned. Leave everything for me. I have been looking for this type of person. They are the reason why I lost my husband 5 years ago. How? Beauty asked. The general manager exhaled loudly and shook her head. My husband has been suffering from high blood pressure. We have been managing it with drugs for years. One fateful evening, my husband was coming out of the bathroom when he collapsed. He was rushed to the hospital, but the doctor confirmed that his B.P was 220/100. How, I asked them, because my husband had been taking his medicine. The doctor said that he didn't know how. That all he knew was that his B.P was very high. Later that day, the doctor asked me to bring the medicine. When I took the packet of the medicine to the doctor, after thorough examination, it was found out that what my husband had taken was not medicine, but ordinary white chalk. White chalk! Beauty screamed and covered her mouth with her palms. Yes, my dear, ordinary white chalk. The doctors tried, but they couldn't save my husband. They couldn't save Paul for me. I lost him because of fake drugs, because of people like Richard and his family. The woman didn't complete her last sentence when she burst out crying, lamenting that God should punish every human being that produces fake drugs in the country. Beauty went over to her and began to console her. That was all she could do. They were both betrayed by death. That same night, Beauty called Peace's brother, and they both met at one restaurant. His name was Godfrey. He was a cool guy, talking handsome. Beauty loved him the moment she set her eyes on her, and she prayed that everything worked fine. Godfrey ordered pepper soup and 2 bottles of small stouts. Beauty declined, but he insisted that he must take something. At last, Beauty agreed to take only pepper soup. She wasn't a fan of alcoholic drinks, and she didn't want to take malt either. They talked about a lot of things. Godfrey narrated how a friend he had welcomed into his apartment stole all his money, and since then he hadn't gotten himself back. Beauty assured him that everything would be fine, and he meant it. Before they left the restaurant, Beauty called Peace, and Peace nearly killed herself with laughter. See this nonsense, girl. You mean that you are there with my brother? Peace said and chuckled. Yes, my coconut head friend. Your brother is here with me. Beauty replied. Give him the phone. Peace demanded. No, I won't. Beauty replied. Please give him the phone. I won't call you a nonsense girl again. Ah, Godfrey, my brother, is that you? Jesus. So this girl is serious. I thought she was joking. How are you doing? Peace said at once the moment she heard her brother's voice. They both talked about many things, and Peace told him how she met Beauty at Onitsha. At last, she told her brother that Beauty was a very good girl, that it was really a joyful moment for the 3 of them. The next day, the general manager made some calls. All she wanted was to make sure that Richard and his family paid dearly for what they did to Beauty and for what they were doing to people all over the country with their fake drugs. One Tuesday morning, Richard was inside the room with Amanda when they heard voices from the sitting room. He hadn't gotten married to Amanda yet, but their wedding was around the corner. After Beauty left, His parents had insisted that he must marry no one else but Amanda. Without any other excuses, he had agreed to marry her. "Babe, can you hear the noises?" Amanda asked, getting up from the bed. "Yes, who could that be?" Richard replied. And immediately they both made their way to the bathroom. It was about 3 police officers and his parents arguing inside the sitting room. A tall, beautiful lady in a long black gown stood by the side. Her eyes were covered with black spectacles. She was silent. "I thought you said that he is not around," one of the police said. "And so? How can you come to my house by this time in the morning demanding to see my son? What has he done?" Richard's mother asked. "Mom, calm down," Richard said. "Officers, what's the problem? Why are you looking for me?" One of the officers matched forward. "Richard, you are under arrest for the production of so many fake drugs in the market. It is better you remain silent, for whatever you say would be used against you in the court of law." The officer said like a reverend father on the pulpit reading a sermon. What are you saying? Me? I have never produced any fake drugs before." Amanda stood beside Richard's mother, staring at the officers. She didn't say anything, or perhaps she didn't have anything to say. The beautiful lady in a long gown opened her bag, brought out a phone, and pressed something. Immediately, the only voice they were hearing was that of Richard's. "Yes, I produced fake drugs, but it doesn't kill. What do you know? You are from the slum, so you don't know anything about making money." The moment the voice stopped, Richard screamed. "Who are you?" he asked, pointing at the lady. The lady smiled, moved forward a little, and gently removed her eyeglasses. Everyone gasped. "Beauty!" Richard screamed. "Yes, I am Beauty, the girl from the slum. Remember, I told you that you will regret hitting me." As they were talking, Richard's father cornered one of the police officers by the side. "Officer, name your price. That girl cannot offer anything. I know her anger. She is angry because my son doesn't want to marry her again. Tell me your price, officer." Richard's father said calmly. "Sir, the issue is that there's no issues there. Just name your price. 200 million naira, 300 or 4. Name it, and it will be transferred immediately. I don't want this to reach your office. The price is prison. Your son will go to prison for killing people." A lady's voice said that Richard's father turned immediately and saw Beauty at their back. "Who exactly are you?" he asked Beauty. "I am Beauty, the only daughter of the late Markson Group of companies." "What?" Richard's father gasped. "Yes. Are you surprised? Don't be. Your son will pay for your sins." Richard was arrested. His parents tried calling Beauty, but Beauty told them that everything was under government control, that she had nothing to do with the case anymore. They tried to bribe so many people, but none of them worked. Richard was charged with 20 years imprisonment with hard labor. Many people joined the protest and complained bitterly about fake drugs. Some narrated how it killed their loved ones, while some told stories that weren't different from that of the general manager. Richard and his family were used as a scapegoat. They paid heavily for the crime. So many of their properties were taken by the government. NAFDAC, National Agency for Foods and Drugs, took it upon themselves to wipe all the fake drugs in the market. Before the end of the 20 years, Richard was looking like a skeleton. When he came out and asked about Amanda, his parents told him that Amanda got married to another man the same month he went to prison. They pleaded with her father to help them, but the man told them that he didn't want anything that would jeopardize his political career. Richard wept bitterly. He blamed his parents for everything, for all the years he wasted in prison, for poisoning his mind against the woman he loves. That let's not dwell in the past, my son. You are back now, and we must move forward, his mother said, and his father nodded. His sisters had gotten married while he was in prison, and being in prison didn't stop any of them from having a good life. Meanwhile, Beautiful and Godfrey had finally settled as husband and wife. None of them knew how it happened. But just like our elders said, it is only when the sleep starts that it entered snoring. They didn't know when they started sleeping, but all they knew was that it entered snoring without their permission. Peace. was surprised when she found out about the real identity of Beauty. Like, how could someone so rich like that live in the slum with her? But Beauty explained to her that it was for the good. At last, Beauty found what she had been looking for in Godfrey. He was a man of the people. He wasn't only her husband, but also like a father figure to her. Right now, Peace is also married to a man who lives in Onitsha. That Beauty connected to her, and they were living happily. I saw Richard today, Peace said to Beauty when she called. Richard is now in the past. Let's talk about the future. Beauty replied, and they both laughed out loud. Beauty didn't just get married to a goodman. She found a sister as well. And at last, she felt completed. And none of her uncles sent any other man around her. Beauty and Godfrey were blessed with children and happiness. That important notice. Let's always buy our drugs from a good pharmacy or we visit the hospital. Many things we are consuming in Nigeria is nothing but a white chalk, and this increased the high rate of death in our country. Asterisk, asterisk, your life and that of your loved one are important to me. Asterisk note. This advice is not only for my fellow Nigerians, but also for every soul that comes across this video and all the champions around the universe. Asterisk, asterisk, moral of this story. Treat everyone in this world with respect because you don't know tomorrow.